Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for turning up today. It's nice to see such a crowd of people at our AGM. Far better than I expected. It being a holiday season. Well, not quite a holiday season, but it is in a way because they've gone back to school, haven't they?
Yes.
We have some apologies from Tricia, Lucy, Irene, Claire. No, Claire's with us by telephone, I believe.
Yes.
Rosalind, Geisha, and Johnny. We'll now move on to. Have you got paperwork? Have you got the minutes of the last meeting?
Minutes were sent out.
They've been sent out. Do you all get the minutes electronically? Well, right. So we need somebody to propose and second the minutes from last year.
Eddie, and seconded by Eddie. Approved the minutes. Need a seconder?
Well, I'll second them. Man, I was here last year. I'm here every year. I think I need a makeover like the room at times. Well, thank you very much. Is there any corrections to the minutes? No. Right, now I'm going to hand over to Lainey for the annual impact report alongside Joe.
Thank you, John. Okay, good morning everyone, and thank you so much for being here. It is such an honour and a privilege to stand here today delivering my 4th AGM speech as Managing Director. Leading this organisation is one of the greatest privileges of my life. Every day I'm reminded that leading Kingsway is not simply about managing an organisation, it's about walking alongside people through both challenges and celebrations and seeing the strength and resilience that shine in this community. It's about standing with people side by side as we face change and create possibilities together. Alan Watts once wrote, "The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance." These words feel especially true for Kingsway this year. Change has been a constant presence, at times testing us, but also inviting us to grow, to adapt, and to keep moving forward together. Change has been felt within our team. We said goodbye to Beth and Yahong, whose dedication and warmth left a lasting impact on Kingsway. Their absence is felt deeply, and we are grateful for all they gave during their time with us. At the same time, we've welcomed new energy. Jamie and Paul joined the team and are already making a difference. Stephanie stepped into a new role after achieving her professional accountancy qualification, and Joe has embraced extra responsibilities with his usual commitment and care. These shifts remind us that while change can feel challenging, it also brings renewal. This is the part that I'm getting myself a bit worked up about, but we'll get there, okay? But change this year has also brought deep sorrow. We mourn the death of our dear colleague and treasurer, Karine. Karine was more than a board member. She was a friend, a guiding voice, and a constant presence of wisdom and compassion. Her dedication shaped projects, nurtured relationships, and strengthened the very foundations of this organisation. We also grieve the devastating loss of Amin, a member of our youth group whose life was taken far too soon at just 15 years old. Amin was full of promise, full of energy, and full of the potential that makes young people such an essential part of our community. His absence is deeply felt, not only by his family and friends, but by everyone who knew him here at Kingsway. Karine and Amin's lives, though different in years, both remind us of what truly matters. the bonds we create, the support we offer, and the way community holds us through joy and sorrow. Their legacies live on in our work, in our care for one another, and in our commitment to build a future where every person can flourish. Even with this grief, this year has brought moments of hope. We've seen new ideas take shape, neighbours supporting each other, and resilience shining through in many ways. These moments remind us that change, while difficult, always carries seeds of hope. As we move now into the report, I invite you to listen for more than numbers. Listen to the stories, the resilience, the connection and change, because those stories are the threads that hold Kingsway together and the reason we look forward to the future with hope. I'm going to hand you over to Joe.
Thank you very much, Lenny.
And Joe's going to present your annual impact report for 2024-2025.
I'm delighted to be here with you all today, and I'd like to take a second to thank Lainey for those really heartwarming and heartfelt reflections. I'm going to talk about some of the big numbers, but then I also want to kind of break down what that really looks like, what that really means in practice and day to day at Kingsway Community Connections. So in 24-25, 831 individuals participated in our group's activities and services, and that was 11,154 attendances all in. That obviously sounds astounding, amazing, but it's really about, you know, the people, the actual parts of coming in every day that kind of make that what it is. So I would like to start by talking through personal growth and wellness. You'll have heard us talking about personal growth and wellness before. It underpins every aspect of our work. It guides how we design, deliver and evaluate all of our activities, groups, services and events. And I'll just read the statement in full. Personal growth is a lifelong journey of self-nurturing and aspirations to be a better person for yourself, your loved ones and your community. Personal growth develops your self-awareness, purpose and meaning, optimism, resilience and sense of responsibility. Personal growth builds the foundations of wellness. That statement came out of work done by staff, volunteers, directors and community members in 2018, and we feel that it's still as relevant, still as vital now as it was back then. I think it helps us in our work to improve the health and well-being, the life chances and the life choices of the community of which we're a part. So how does personal growth and wellness, how do we actually put it into action? Part of that is through Activity for All. Our Activity for All programme is lots of different light touch, creative and well-being focused activities that help foster connections, give people a chance to develop new skills and discover new interests. It's also a chance to get involved with a variety of different activities, so it's constantly evolving and changing throughout the year. And as a community-led organisation, it really gives us the opportunity to listen and to respond to what community members are actually interested in. For example, someone might ask for a taster session. If that's popular, it might turn into a block of activity. It helps us keep activities meaningful for community members and shaped by them. And the headline number for that is that 202 individuals attended 116 Activity for All sessions, total of 664 attendances. There was loads of different activities, and I'm just going to break down a few of them and what they looked like to give kind of a flavour of it. I'll start with yoga, which was our most popular activity once again. 25 people attended 35 sessions, 219 times. And I think that yoga is a really good example of how we can kind of listen and respond to the community. So that started off as a session, turned into a block, and is now pretty much a permanent feature of our activity programme. Community members tell us how important it is for their weekly routines, a start to their week every on a Monday, and also they highlight that the relationship they've built with Donna, the facilitator, who's created this welcoming, caring, supportive space, is really what keeps them coming back. And having trusted facilitators is another huge part of Activity for All. You can see there some smiling faces with some Christmas wreaths, people who attended our flower arranging sessions. Many gave them away as gifts. One generous community member gave us one for the office as well, which was lovely. People attended the first in a series of long-term pain management sessions, which was a great opportunity for people to share experiences, talk through hints and tips, and people got a certificate at the end. And I think these three activities really give an idea of the variety of activities. So we've got things like physical well-being activities, creative sessions, and information sessions, and people's ability to get involved in all kinds of sessions is really part of the point as well. We had lots of other sessions. Here are three more. We had a storytelling session that was really lovely. There was feedback we got from that was that people felt uplifted, that it was trying something they'd never tried before, and people were full of emotion by the end, connecting with old memories and things like that. So that's something that's carried through into this year as well. People were attending our monthly litter picks, which is not only a really fabulous opportunity for people to kind of contribute to looking after the local area, but also a chance to connect with other people and share a hot lunch afterwards. And people attended weaving sessions, and they really highlighted that trying a totally different new skill that they'd never tried before, working with the yarn and the looms on smaller and more collective designs, was quite exciting. People were taking things away and working on it at home just to bring it back and show the facilitator, which was lovely. And again, that's carried through into our activities this year. Just as much, if not more, important to our personal growth and wellness approach is our groups. 401 individuals attended 247 sessions, a grand total of 3,584 times. And we think that our groups are the most important part of how we deliver community development. They are where real positive, lasting change takes place. And they don't only benefit the community members within those groups individually, but the opportunity to kind of share experiences, exchange ideas, skills and knowledge, and have that mutual support helps build a stronger, more resilient, more connected community. I'll start with the walk-in group. Again, this is such a popular, lovely group. So much of what we do as a community development organisation is based where we are, in our community rooms, in our main space, in our community garden. But the walking group members have really highlighted just how nice it is for them to be able to get out and about from their local area, to visit spots of natural beauty. And I think part of that as well is removing the barriers. So, for some people there might be transport barriers, financial barriers, confidence barriers, and I think that having the motivation of being part of a group where everyone's really passionate and interested in the same thing just creates a totally different experience for people. A big part of it as well is of course Martin, who's been leading the groups and has been obviously connected to the organisation for so long. The relationships that he's built up with people who have been coming for a long time, but also people who come for the first time and then get really excited about the group, is just wonderful. And also taking into account that we have easy walks for beginners as well as more challenging walks, walks on different days at different times to give as many people as possible the opportunity to get involved. Kingsway Women's Group. I think Kingsway Women's Group really benefits from the support it gets from Janice. Janice is so connected into so many other parts of the organisation. She's part of the Breakfast Club, she's part of the youth group. And I think when people interact with Janice, it's not just that they're interacting with her, it's that they know that she probably knows their whole family, she probably knows their friends, and it gives a real sense of comfort to people as well. The women's group took part in lots of different sessions, felting, creative sessions, had an info session with menopause warriors, and there was just so much going on, and people told us again how important it was to have a space for conversation, creativity, and laughter as well. Since 2021, 2021, we've been delivering our outdoor youth programme with the youth group known as the Club. Last year that took place in the summer and October holidays, and that's a chance for young people to come here, go outside and take part in different activities, things like den building, things like arts and crafts, team games. They've done letter picks, sports days, and I think the strength of this club is not only that it gives young people a chance to come and get involved and meet each other and kind of make friends, but also that they get to know their local area, their local green spaces, the local park, as well as other community members. And other community members have told us how nice it is to see young people playing and also taking part in letter picks, contributing to their community. So that's a huge strength of that group, which continues to flourish. A new group this year developed our 11 to 15 youth group for boys. Our community development worker Jamie's been supporting and kind of mentoring young people and has been very connected to them for a very long time. And this group really came out of direct conversations with young people who told us that they wanted a safe space where they could take part in activities, where they could make friends, and where they could just kind of chill and be with each other. And they really highlighted the lack of opportunities that were already there around Kingsway for that. We also identified what we perceive as a rise in violence affecting young people as well, which really solidified how needed this group is. And I think the numbers for last year are good, but I think that since April this year, the group has really come into its own and just like taken a life of its own. The club usually starts at about 4:30, but there's young people banging at our door about 3:30. Any excuse to try and get in. So we're really excited about where this group can go. The Kurdish Women's Group, I'll highlight the numbers here because they're just astonishing, but 210 women and young people attended 46 sessions, a total of 1,974 times. And I think it's really testament to the work, especially from Geisia, from Soma, from Hawar and other volunteers that they put in to make this group a reality. We often get phone calls from members of the Kurdish community who are maybe newly arrived in the area and are feeling a bit isolated, and I'm so happy to be able to kind of connect them with this group. Again, there was just loads and loads of different sessions, including art therapy sessions, hand and shoulder massage, had an information session with the community police, a celebration for International Women's Day as well. So that group, again, continues to flourish. Another group we're really proud of, and we've got Para with us today. Para and Kumar help facilitate this group. The Tamil language group celebrating Tamil language and culture, and as you can see from the pictures, they just bring a lot of colour and vibrancy to this organisation. You can see them there at our Harvest Festival, giving out henna tattoos to people, which people were really excited to get as well. And again, just a huge breadth of different activities taking place throughout the year. We really focused this year as well on developing project-based group work. The idea of that was that things emerging within the community, specific themes, specific interests that people have, we would kind of facilitate groups based on that. So an example of that is the filmmaking group. A lot of the people involved in the 11 to 15 youth group were involved with that, which also benefited from support from Ignite Theatre. The mapping group, a lot of people in this room I'm sure will have had experience of finding difficulty getting involved and feeling like they have a voice in local decision making. The mapping group was a chance to get people together to connect, talk about local issues. They developed their own mapping tool, and it was a really exciting group, and I think it's laid the foundations for more work. Our Conversation Cafe, obviously ESOL is massively oversubscribed all over the city, and that impacts us as well. You know, I think there's a lot of third sector organisations stepping in to fill the breach of statutory when it comes to that. And through conversations with people who maybe were involved in the ESOL or were on the waiting list, but had emphasised how much they wanted a space to practice English in an informal and relaxed way. Conversation Cafe was born out of that, and there was some really lovely, beautiful sessions. I want to highlight some other groups as well. As I've just mentioned, ESOL, supported by April from Clyde College, and the picture there shows the graduation they had to celebrate all the hard work and commitment of both the attendees of the literacies and the elementary classes. For me, the beating heart of the organisation, we're cheating with us, is Eddie with us as well today, the Coffee Morning and Lunch Club, who continue to come along, many of whom have been here since the start, who were a part of the creation of Kingsway Community Connections, and they continue to brighten every Tuesday and Thursday. And the men's group was a bit more challenging this year. There was a less engagement than last year, for example. The group is now on a bit of a hiatus as we kind of reflect on why that is and what we can do to engage more with men. So that'll be a series of conversation with men, and we'll hopefully come back to that. Well, we will come back to that. Some of the absolute highlights of every year are events, and we had some fantastic events last year as well. Again, the colour and vibrancy, the energy, the diversity of our Harvest Festival, where we estimate, I think probably on the more cautious side, that 650 people were there. It could have been well more. Was just another fantastic celebration with music and food and activities. The Christmas Open Day, a really cosy, lovely opportunity to kind of relax with community members before the centre shut over the Christmas holidays, and the grotto, where we were able to, well, not us, but Santa was able to provide presents for a lot of the young people in our community. Not taking credit for that one. We also had a film screening. People were talked about how they loved the passionate conversation that came from that, and that's something that we'll definitely look to do again in the future. We are the designated warm welcome space. Big thanks to GCVS and for Glasgow City Council for the support with that. We provided 55 people across 58 afternoons, 549 meals. Similarly, our breakfast club provided 3,089 breakfasts to 42 people across 145 mornings. And I think this highlights a couple of things. It highlights the consistency and the trust in the community to keep coming back and getting involved and wanting to access those, but it also highlights the ongoing cost of living crisis and the lack of access that people have to basics such as food. Similarly, we're so privileged to have fantastic partners. We've got Martina in today from Northwest Glasgow Voluntary Sector Network. It's Plugged In project, and we were able to refer 21 people 36 times for things like laptops, PCs, phones, SIM cards. In terms of food, again, we were able to refer people to the Northwest Pantry. 32 people we referred 37 times, and each referral is 6 visits for free. Similarly, the Glasgow Northwest Food Bank, we referred 130 people 402 times. Again, highlighting good partnership working, but also just the lack of basics for people, and the way that third sector constantly needs to step in to try and cover that. Other services we have include the General Inquiry Office and Support Service. We've got our telephone and photocopying and computer service. People often come in, make themselves a cup of tea, and kind of get on with things that they need to do on the computer, or make a phone call to the health centre. And the community wardrobe in the community library, and it's lovely to have so many people donating to that as well as using it. I've seen people recommend books to each other from the community library, so it's such a nice thing to be able to have in our main space. Our community garden, 18 pots used with 14 people on the list last year. It continues to be just a wonderful space that we use for a variety of different things. We use it for our harvest festival. We use it for activities, things like yoga and our cardio dance sessions. We've got the next generation of community gardeners ready as well. It absolutely 100% needs a bit of love and needs a bit of regeneration. Unfortunately, we need money to do that, and we don't have money to do that at the minute, but it's absolutely something that we would like to do and we are planning to do. And I'll finish with a few other highlights from the year. So we had a visit from Patricia Ferguson, our new MP, so we could tell her a wee bit about what we do. Myself, Beth and Steph completed the kilt walk, and we were overjoyed that so many people supported us and donated to that. And thanks to Councillor Malcolm Mitchell, who's with us today, we were able to invite some community members to attend the Lord Provost's Christmas lunch last December as well, which they really enjoyed. And I will finish with just saying that it is a total pleasure to be able to present and reflect on and celebrate all of these things that we did last year with you, because you guys, so many of you as well as other people, you are what makes Kingsway Community Connections such a wonderful organisation. There's a lot more in the impact report, as well as more community members in their own words giving feedback on what KCC means to them and why they're involved. And one more thing before I pass over to Lainey, which I realised I didn't mention, everything we do is free as well. So, yeah. And I'll now pass back over to Lainey to talk through some more of the report.
Thank you, Joe. Wow, we do a fair bit, don't we? Yeah. It's when you see that Joe and I done a run through yesterday. Joe and I done 15 run throughs yesterday.
I'll get it eventually.
We will get it eventually. And when we looked at it, we were like, goodness, that's an awful lot we're doing. That is definitely it. Okay, I'm back with you. I've composed myself. And what I'm going to talk to you about is the Welfare Advice Service. Paul, if everybody wants to look, Paul, put your hand up. Here's the man. There he is. Paul is our almost brand new April welfare advice and support worker, and we've managed not to break him yet. Yes. So the welfare advice service is often where people come when they are at their most worried or unsure. It's where challenges like housing, benefits or debts are met with patience, care and practical support. Time and time again we see how that first step, sitting down with someone who understands, can turn things around for people. I want to share with you some of the most striking changes we've seen this year. So I've got a wee graphic up here. So in 2023-24, which is the top numbers, 160 people, 479 interactions. 2024-25, there's an error.
I know, it's
that says 2024-24. That's not true. 24-25, 284 people, 1,054 interactions. That's 120% increase in just 1 year. And looking ahead, I've had conversations with Paul about this. We know that demand is just going to keep rising. Those numbers will be bigger next year. The numbers show us two things very clearly. First, the need for advice, guidance and support is growing. Second, our welfare service is becoming a trusted and valued source of help in this community. There's something we can all be proud of, but there's also a reminder of the pressures that come with that rise in demand. Paul is but just one person. He is obviously superhuman, but he is still just one person. Behind each number is a person, a story, a moment of courage. Coming to us is not always easy, but when people do, they find not only practical advice, but also a listening ear, reassurance and care. This is where our trauma-informed approach and our personal growth and wellness ethos really come to life. I don't appear, yes, sorry, my fault. Every person is met with dignity, compassion and the belief that they already hold the strength to move forward. So while the statistics are important, it's the human stories behind them that matter most. The welfare service continues to be a vital thread in the fabric of Kingsway, helping people not just to get by, but to take steps to stability, confidence and hope. We are now done with that part of the AGM. That is but a flavour of what we do. Stephanie has the annual impact report that Joe has brought to life with pictures and quotes. If any of you are interested, within the next few days, if you want to go to Oscar, the charity regulator, our company's house, our trustees report is there, all 7,900 and whatever words of it, which goes into more detail about the work we do. It documents absolutely everything that we do. But from this point of view, thank you for listening to our annual impact report.
Thank you very much, Lady. Now call on Stephanie to hit us with the numbers.
Hello. So I'll keep this short and sweet because the numbers bore most people, not myself, but most people. So I've created a small graphic here. We're really just looking at and comparing what our overall income has been over the years, 24-25 to the previous year that we had 23-24. So as you can see here, the first graphic, our income last year was £271,800. In comparison to the previous year, that's an uplift of around about, what was that, £23,000 that we've had for income. On the expenditure, you can look when we compare the both years, we actually spent less last year than we did the previous year by a couple of £1,000. So last year's spend was £262,686. Sorry if I keep turning away and my voice is not projecting. Can you just hear me okay at the back when I'm talking? Okay, good. So there's a couple of £1,000 spent more the previous year. Now that was mainly due, as Lainey's already mentioned in her report, last year we had a change where Beth and Jahlong both left post. There was a wee bit of reshuggling about, and there was a couple of months where some roles weren't filled in and therefore salaries aren't being paid, etc. and stuff like that. So that's why you'll see there's not a massive change in the expenditure. But overall, when we're looking at the end figures here, our reserves and what we have sitting in the bank, last year we've now hit £46,684, and that's a combination of our restricted and unrestricted reserves that we've got available. The previous year it was £37,570. Now for those of you who have been here for the last couple of AGMs, you'll see that that figure is just gradually building and building. It was only 4 years ago
2021.
that was sitting at nearly zero. We never had much, with a member of staff leaving, redundancy payments having to be paid out, kind of wiped us out. So we've been gradually just building that number back up again. It's on our accounts and what it states where we should be sitting at. We're actually in the region of about 60 plus thousand that we should be sitting, but we're quite happy with where it sits now. We're quite happy we've built that back up. So yeah, overall our finances are looking good at the moment. Now I'm going to pass you on to Lainey, who's going to discuss a wee bit more about our funding situation. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, we're doing all right at the moment, but I just want to give the members a little word of caution of where we are heading. We are in the final year of 3-year funding cycle for two of our biggest funders, Glasgow Communities Fund and Scottish Government. Glasgow Communities Fund, which is run by Glasgow City Council. Applications in for that, so we will wait to hear the outcome maybe sometime in November, so we can cross our fingers. That fund we look to fund my salary and Stephanie's salary and a contribution to core costs. Scottish Government Investing in Communities Fund isn't even open for the next round, and that fund is due to end on the 31st of March next year. So we will be making a decision, well, I've made a decision, come end of September, beginning of October. If that fund still isn't open, then we'll look for another funder to try and fund that programme. What that fund currently funds: Joe's wages, Jamie's wages, and all of our programme. So if we don't get, basically I'm saying if we don't get Glasgow Communities Fund and we don't get ICF or AN other fund, then we're in a wee bit of trouble. We don't know what's going to happen in the 1st of April 2026. You got to help us, Eddie. So everybody look down the back of the sofa, check your pockets, and we'll see what we can do. As I stand here at the moment, and I hope I don't regret saying this, I don't have concerns. I think we demonstrate the work that we do in this organisation well. I think a funder would be stupid to not fund us. We are fabulous. So just a wee note of caution to members there that we are in a little bit of a precarious point in relation to funding. I give you my absolute word as I stand here, this I will not regret saying, I will do everything in my power to make sure continued funding comes into this organisation. If we need a hiatus for a couple of months, we take that, but I will not stop until I've explored every avenue.
Thank you very much, Lenny. I'm now going to hand over to Jamie, who's going to launch a website.
Excited! Woo!
We don't launch boats in the Clyde anymore. This is the second best thing we can do.
So, thank you, John, and thank everybody for your attention. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. I know this is why you really came to the AGM. So, my job over the last few months has been looking at KCC's website. The previous one needed a bit of a facelift, it needed refresh, needs a way to maintain it. So, as of now, that's our website now officially launched. It's up, kingswaycc.org.uk. I'm just going to run through some of the ideas that we've got for the new website. Although the website is up, it will constantly be getting changed and updated. So I'll run through what I had to work on. So the first thing was the branding. Community members have already been involved in the branding at KCC. For me, it was important that the website encapsulates that, the same way as our annual impact report, the same way as our posts on Facebook. So we should be slowly manoeuvring everything into the same brand, so it is recognised not just within the community but out with it. I felt it was important the website was reflective. People outside the organisation that don't always know what we do, but also outside our community, it should be a window into what we do in KCC, but the wider community. So not just funders looking at the website, but maybe new residents, people that are arriving, they want to know a bit more about what we do. They can find the information and details up on the website. It should be also responsive to what our community needs. So, as I said, it will change depending on what you want it to do, what you need it to do, and it needs to be relevant. So we should have the most up-to-date information on our website. So if you want information about a walk and you want to be able to find out how you book on it, or you want to respond to maybe a survey or something we're putting out, we should always be relevant. So the website should be the first point of call eventually. I know what Facebook sort of does a lot of that work just now. The last R that's not up there, we could go through all the R's, was reliable. So the website needs to be, I think before we had bits and bobs that weren't as up to date, and you had to phone up and check, but the website should be that point of call. Promote our work, as I said, not just within the work that we do within KCC, but the wider community, the work that our members do, the work that our partners do. So we're keen for this website to be that connection within the community, and it must align with our personal growth and wellness model. We'll be exploring with our groups and residents how to do this. So will it be more interactive? Well, we have one idea that we've got is Kingsway submissions, where the walking group's very good at this, taking pictures and sending them in. We should, as a community, be able to submit things and ideas, and that wall that's at Annie's Land Road that's been broke. I was thinking, we could just take a picture, send it to us, and we'll find the councillors are in the room, but they can help the right people to sort out issues. But maybe going forward, we have training and workshops. We have a secure section for maybe participants in work groups to log in and access. So we'll identify ways going forward with our groups and our members to do that. The next slide is our sitemap. So this, I've tried to make it as less complicated as I can, but this is the background of the website. So you won't see it like this. If it is on the website, if you want to go check. But all our pages are split under what we do, about us, what we do, get involved, contact us, and there's some external links to donate, or our events calendar and things. That is on the website. I'm not going to run through it all, but we're sort of streamlining, and the structure of the website is really important for every website. But I'm just trying to show Lainey how hard I've worked. So we go to the next slide, Joe, my man. These are some of the new and updated pages. The Kingsway notice board, as I said, we've got the hashtag what's on G13 and 14. We do a lot of that tagging on our Instagram and our Facebook already, but we want to have a notice board for the whole community. Not, as I said, not just within what we do at KCC, but what's going on elsewhere. We've got a really good network calendar that's definitely updates, where we've got everything that goes on. So we have all the surgeries for the councillors, or the MSPs, or the MPs as well. The Kingsway notice board should be where our residents and community members get access to see what's going on. News and articles is a news section. You see there, you can get our annual impact report is uploaded digitally. Some of the latest news that we've been involved in, so we've got the STV article and the Glasgow Times, but that will constantly rotate. So anything that we're working on, or any news stories that come out, we've been really, I think in the last few months in particular, Lainey keeps getting calls every time she's on STV News. I think it was once every week for about 6 weeks. But we should be sharing these stories, and I think we need to be proud of the work that we are doing, but also our residents and community members to see that as well, and for us to showcase what we do. And we are launching today. You'll see what being filmed. I know some people have told me if they don't want pictures taken, don't worry about that, we've got that under control. But Kingsway TV, since I arrived here as a young chap, about 14, well, when I was 14, 24 years ago, when I first met Martin and some of the other people, and the Gene and Eddie and everyone else, I was part of a film for BBC. Then after that, we had the Glasgow Girls film, and then we've had Gene's just released a new hit. So we're better for us to get all these videos, all the previous work that we've done, and have it in one place. So you can go, okay, KWTV or Kingsway TV is where you can find these videos. And I think the work that we've done with Ignite, you heard it earlier, the 11 to 15 group that because Armin was involved, and we've got that footage of him and his friends speaking about how important Kingsway is. I think that's a really good starting point even for the young people, and going forward we should be constantly telling these stories. If I had my way, we'd have cameras absolutely everywhere, because there's things that happen in this organisation, all the hard work and stuff that we don't always see, but I
Jamie,
think people would love.
that's just not going to happen.
I think like some documentary, but we do have talents out with the work that we do. I've got a boxing channel, and I think just small things that we can bring. It doesn't take that much to set up a camera and film, and then interview people, and some of your programme as well. Young people will just like we're interviewing each other and stuff. I think that's a good start point for us to constantly tell these stories in a new way. And I think maybe even in the future, I know we spoke about it when I was on the board, was the annual impact report. There could be a visual version of the annual impact report as well. So that's just some of the new pages. I'll give you one of my favourite pages now. This is just an idea of what you can find on the website. The staff bios, we've got the board member bios as well, but you can find out a bit more about us. I don't know if many of you know, but Paul is a salsa dancer. I've got a boxing channel. Joe just got married. Lainey is...
That's not on the website, is
it? maybe Kingsway TV might have it. But there's so much that goes on in our lives that we think, do you know what, you meet us every day, you should know who the board members are. So that's just one of my favourite pages, just we can reflect our personalities and stuff on the website. And it should be a place where people can go and go, oh well, what does that guy Jamie, why is he involved in this organisation, what has he done? And then you should be able to find it. So that's just one of the examples. Another one, you heard there, is we have to fundraise more. Fundraise for KCC, and we do have donate buttons and we have the links for the kilt walk. But there should be ways where members and residents can, if they want to fundraise for KCC, maybe we could have a downloadable pack like they do in Children in Need. You can get the logos, you can, so we'll look at ways to do that, and obviously it has to be done securely. I've got this thought in my head with my friends when I was younger, used to print off sponsorship forms and just go around as many houses as they can, but I don't know what happened with the money that they collected. So we need to make sure it's done right. But Fundraise for KCC is a page that I think we should be showcasing again what other people are doing for us, and it's a really good page. So that's a flavour of the website. As I said, it will be constantly getting updated, and if there is anyone, the one thing that I think I've not added yet is like either a board member or volunteer showcase where we interview. We have done some background work for the Kingsway TV. Jean has been part of the podcast. That going into our 25th anniversary, we'll be looking at all of that stuff. So that will be KWTV will kick off. But that's it, Kingsway, cc.org.uk. We are live. Thank you so much.
Who's keeping all this website up to date then?
So,
That's Jamie.
yeah. So the idea of the website going forward will be to make it easier to maintain, right? So there is ways we can link, like if Joe posts a post on Facebook, it should instantly go to the website and Instagram. We can work that out. Right now the events calendar, we put up what we print out, but the events calendar can be interactive. You can, my idea is that you would click, say, the walking group, and then it would pop up some thoughts that people have had to previous walks, or you can have ratings, or we can look at stuff like that, but it's our website, and I think we all take a part in feeding into it, but going forward I've made it in a way that maintaining it is literally a few clicks. If there's something that you said, oh, I want this up, it could be up in seconds. I obviously run my JTV website, and I've built that in a way that if I'm filming, the video goes straight up the minute I'm finished. So there is easier ways to manage the website. I think before, websites were very it was quite time consuming to get a web designer stuff that now anyone, you see the adverts go with that, anybody can build a website and settings, but it's just the way we built this is to make it as easy. There is a lot of structure in the background, but that's done, and it's now just bringing the website to life.
So were you responsible for putting all that together?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just told him, he says MD can do it in seconds. He's been on that for over 3 weeks.
It was a presentation I was more worried about. I was like, the website's fine, but the presentation. Just need to click this one. But listen, thank you so much. If there is anybody that's interested in filming or doing it for the website, let me know.
Right, it now falls to me to give thanks to auditors Brent Nichols, and I think they've been retained as auditors for the following year. Do you have a representative of Brent Nichols here?
No.
No. So I now hand over to Lainey, who's going to facilitate the nominations and the elections of a board.
Woo woo! Here we go. Alright, we're running a wee bit at a time, so as you know, our board plays a vital role in shaping the direction of Kingsway Community Connections, ensuring we remain rooted and accountable to the community that we serve. This year we've got 2 directors retiring, and I'd like to take a moment to thank them sincerely for their service, their commitment and the time they have given to guiding KCC. So thank you to the 2 directors that are retiring, that aren't in the room, so we'll move on. One director, Claire, is retiring by rotation, but is available for re-election. Claire has intimated that she would like to continue serving on our board. I'm asking now to the membership, may I have a proposer for Claire's re-election to the board? Martin? And a seconder? Habab, thank you. So to all the members again, thank you. May I have anybody got any objections to Claire being re-elected to the board? If you have, put your hand up. If you haven't, no, thank you very much. Claire is duly re-elected to the board of Kingsway Community Connections.
Well done, Claire.
Well done, Claire. Thank you. We have 4 nominations to join our board. That is just brilliant. 4 nominations from members who would like to be considered for election. I'll start off with Roz because she's not here, and that is no reflection on Roz wanting to be a director. Roz has said she would like to learn what ideas are on the horizon for the community and to give her input and thoughts on whatever is on. I've been part of this organisation since 2003. I took time away for a number of years. I've been back for a few years now, and I'm interested in part of how everything works and to add my input and help out where I can. So the membership again, can I have a proposer for Roslyn?
Who's that, Rosalind?
Ros, yeah, okay, John, seconded by Martin. Membership again, does anyone have any objections? Ros is on the board, welcome Ros. The next, Zara, where are you? Do you want to come up and say a couple of words, or do you want to stay there and say it? Okay, this is Zara. Zara is a resident of 25 years of the community. She's witnessed the positive impact this centre has had on her neighbourhood. She would love to have the opportunity to continue to contribute her skills and her experience to the community. She's particularly drawn to KCC's commitment to bringing the different cultures together and making a safer environment for children in the area. Is very close to Zara's heart as a parent raising her daughters within this community. She deeply values the importance of cultural integration, and she's eager to support KCC in their mission to create an inclusive environment where every member feels valued and connected. Can I have a proposer please for Zara? Martin,
Definitely propose that.
seconder for Habab. To the membership again, any objections? Zara, you're on the board! Woo! Dorothy, where are you, my love? There you are. Would you like to say a couple of words? No, it's Dorothy, Claire.
Hi. I kind of came to Kingsway when I had a period of isolation because I lost my 2 brothers, Andrew and Alan. They were very young and they passed away due to unhealthy lifestyles, and I found it very heartbreaking at the time. What I love about the values of Kingsway, I've heard Lainey say about the 2 lost loved ones within this community. Grief for me, I went to sport, I went to weightlifting to gain resilience and strength and to overcome and rise against grief, personal grief. And for the love of Andy and Alan, I promised myself that I would live for them to reach my full potential and reach my ultimate best, because they never had that opportunity due to drugs and different cultures within society and male toxic behaviours. So everything of this project, I'm so proud of Lainey and the whole team. Martin took me to the Trossachs National Park, and I took some reels which are just, I was struggling through a lot of family issues, and I could talk to Martin and other people on the walk. Just seeing nature at its best lifts you anyway, as just natural, just being uplifted, getting up that incline 5 minutes in, I'm going, why am I doing this? I'm mad. But I absolutely adore coming out of my comfort zone and reaching my ultimate best. And the team here are awe-inspiring and absolutely beautiful. Jamie that does youth work, Janice, I've come into the cafe many a time and I've been struggling with stuff, and I got a wee cup of tea and a lovely wee hug from Janice. And that meant the world to me, because there was a lot of people around me being destructive, and I've had to let go of a lot of friendships. I've done that through my own personal sport, weightlifting, which I absolutely love and adore, to reach my ultimate best. But this community, I think, is amazing. Personally, in my own area, I worked in community development and learning team, and I tutored 3 wee boys when I had other griefs, not seeing my grandchildren through a toxic partner and domestic abuse. And I was coming into Janice heartbroken about not seeing my wee grandchildren. I've had one wee improvement in that area, and I'm absolutely over the moon, 10 feet tall, proud. I'm only 4 foot 11 3/4, but I'm 10 feet tall, proud of reaching out to someone who was being toxic. So it's just proof that positive connections and trusting people again. I had to put myself in positions of trust when I didn't trust anyone for a while. And Martin and the mocks and Jamie, I think, so inspiring for youth work. And all the other threads of the support here at Kingsway, I think, is amazing. Thank you very much, Lainey, for
Thank
giving me the opportunity to
Thank
talk.
you. No problem.
Thank you. And the work's amazing.
Do we have a proposer for Dorothy's nomination? John, seconder. Martin, to the membership once again. Any objections? Welcome to the board of directors. And last but definitely not least, we've got Awat. Would you like me to read, or would you like? Okay, then Awat says he cares about supporting the Kingsway community, to helping local people, and to be making positive changes. Do we have a proposer for Awat? Thank you, Habab. A seconder? Thank you, John. To my membership, anybody, any objections? So you're putting your hand up there, Ian. I was going to say you're not a member. Welcome to the board of directors. Well, that makes the board look a lot healthier, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, might be people to talk to at last. I was beginning to think it was the deodorant I was using. Anyway, thank you very much, Lainey. Is there any other business? Yes, Jean?
Could I ask just one question? Are you ever going to have a harvest festival again?
Jean,
What was the question?
are we ever going to have a harvest festival again? Our plan is yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
Unfortunately, this year we had no money for the harvest festival. Was a celebration of the garden in its inception,
That's what I was
and
thinking.
cost us what, Martin? What was your budget? £500, £200,
Eventually, a
couple of £100. We after COVID, we made this
That's right.
a bigger festival, and £7,000 was spent on it. So we made the decision this year not to have it, because we've got our 25th
And you know,
anniversary this year, and Joe and I are talking about how we can retain the great, lots of people coming part of the
yeah,
festival
that's
without the cost associated. So we will be back next year with something,
good.
but we don't know quite what it is.
Okay,
All right, thank you, Jean.
that's fine.
So it just goes to me to bring all the staff together and to thank them for the work they do.
Don't know where they are. Where's the staff?
Anyway, there's pictures on the website of the right. That's another excuse to go on the website. Anyway, personally, as the beloved chairman of the board, sound like a gangster, don't I? As the beloved chairman of the board, I would like to deeply thank them for all the work they do actually. And I'm looking forward to the coming year with new members of the board, thank you every one of you, to having an argument at last with the Chief Executive Officer. Anyway, thank you very much to the staff. Your work and input is greatly appreciated.
You dear.
We just get it. We get it in
Is there any questions from the floor? Well, that's the. Thank you very much for coming here today. It's much appreciated, members of the community, to show this much, interest in what the community, what this organisation does, and we are very grateful how much support we get from you as well. So that's it finished. Sandwiches and tea will be provided, and a year from now I'll see you all again.
Not quite. I've got some thanks to give, so remain where you are. So I want to close by offering my thanks to the board of directors who provide vision, oversight, lived understanding, and who offer me unwavering support. Thank you. To my staff team, without a doubt, the most caring, focused and committed team I could hope for, who continue to show integrity, compassion and professionalism occasionally. It is your dedication that makes everything we do at Kingsway possible. To our sessional staff, thank you for your dedication and skill in delivering so much of our work with care and consistency. Your commitment ensures that our programmes and activities reach who they need most. To our volunteers, your contribution of 2,105 hours over the past year is remarkable. Is more than time. You have given energy, compassion and commitment, reminding us the true strength of community in action. To our funders, whose belief in our approach and trust in our ability to allow us to keep responding to that need and creating real change, your support gives us the stability and confidence to keep moving forward. To our community, thank you for being the heart of Kingsway and for shaping KCC into a place of strength, belonging and possibility. Each time you come through our doors, you bring stories, you bring laughter and warmth that makes this community so alive. You remind us that KCC is not just a centre, but a place where people lift one another up and where together we create something truly extraordinary. Looking ahead, our focus is simple. We will continue building a place where people feel connected, valued and encouraged to grow. Change will always come, but Kingsway will remain rooted in care, guided by possibility and open to all who need a space of welcome and support. Thank you. That's us. We're now going to get something to eat now.
For anybody who's interested in personal growth and wellness, this YouTube video that you can access via the QR code is a bit of the inspiration behind the personal growth and wellness approach. It's a talk by Sir Harry Burns.
Watch it, it's cracking.